and welcome to another episode of Review Rewind. Today, we are going to take a look at Ghostbusters 2, the much maligned sequel that stars the same cast of characters with all the originals returning, released in 1989. This isn't a great film by any stretch of the imagination. And in terms of quality, it probably is, and to most people, is well below the original Ghostbusters film. However, that being said, to me, I like this movie. I think it's a very good film in terms of entertainment value. Again, not on the level of the original Ghostbusters. But Ghostbusters 2 is akin to wanting to watch Sharknado instead of watching Jaws. Nowhere near Sharknado as good as Jaws, but there's something about Sharknado that's just fun to watch. You can just sit back, relax, and enjoy what's in front of you. And that's what we have with Ghostbusters 2. The plot, well, not fantastic. It's decent enough. It's serviceable. The bad guy, Vigo, again, nowhere near as good as Gozer, but serviceable. You got some of the side characters. You had the new one, Janusz Poa, the curator of the museum where the picture is hung. He's a nice addition to me. Checked the rankings to see if he ranks in my top 5. But all in all, Ghostbusters 2 is just a fun, guilty pleasure type film. I do think a lot of people compare it to the first one, and I know with sequels you do that. But if you take every film based on just its own merits, Ghostbusters is a little better than it gets credit for. Well, I do think that, again, just like in the first one, Peter Venkman does kind of carry the movie. His lines aren't quite as quick or as fast as they were in the first one. They're not quite as witty, but they still make you laugh. You know, lines like, hey, don't worry about it. I have all kind of new cheap moves. When she says, you need to put the baby down, and he starts talking to the baby. Tell him he's got a big head, a belly button sticks out too far. Jokes like that, the first time you watch it, will make you chuckle. You know, the more you watch, obviously, with any comedy, you laugh less. But, again, it's a serviceable movie. I don't see the hate this film gets. I think a lot of people just hold Ghostbusters 1 in too high of regard. As I had stated to a fellow YouTuber on one of their messaging boards, that there are times when I actually prefer to watch Part 2 over Part 1. Again, not a quality thing. I'm not arguing quality of a film. But sometimes it's just fun to put this movie on, kick back with the family, and just enjoy the film. I think the special effects in this film hold up quite well. Not quite like I said, with the dog jumping out of the room in Tully's house in Part 1. Here, you don't have that extreme, I don't think. At least in my opinion. I think all of them are serviceable effects. I do think the ending of this movie is way too quick. You have this giant build-up. The Statue of Liberty comes to life, which is cool. And then to find out here later on that some of that was CG, some of that was actually somebody with a painted foot walking through. Very neat effect. To just have the guy pop out of the picture, they spray him with the good slime, and it's done. A little weak. There should have been a bigger battle. At least, well, I don't think the battle scene at the end of Part 1 was fantastic. At least there was a little bit of push and shove in that. There was a little bit of, fight back from Gozer. Here, they have one quick thing from Vigo fighting back, and done. The Ghostbusters put him to bed. And then I do think the scene at the end with the Ghostbusters in the painting was kind of dumb. But it was a decent enough film. Again, like I said, nowhere near as good as Part 1. But in closing, what I do have to say is, to me, Ghostbusters 2 is a decent film. It is a fun watch. Don't compare it to the first one when you watch it. Just sit back and enjoy it on its own merits, and I think you'll have a good time. So, all in all, Ghostbusters 2 is a 71 out of 100, a 7.1 out of 10. Thank you for tuning in. Click that subscribe button down below. Share this video if you will. I do appreciate it. Let's get some views here. Let's help grow this channel. So again, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. And as always, peace, love, see ya.